Good evening, guys. What happened in the skies west of here on January 8th has attracted international attention. Something about the number of people who saw it and the kind of people who saw it, a rancher, a pilot, a lawman, make this case really unique.
I saw all these white strobing lights.
Of the dozens of witnesses who've talked publicly,
Here I saw what appeared to be maybe two jets coming from that direction, and I don't know if they were chasing this thing.
None has been more compelling than Erath County Constable Leroy Gayton.
It's still just a credibility.
A lawman speaking out reluctantly.
I have nothing to gain by this.
Only after he knew others had seen the same thing.
I just saw some strange lights traveling at a high rate of speed, doing some things that I've never seen anything before in my life.
Was it a series of lights?
Even when the media horde descended on a meeting called by the Mutual UFO Network along with the predictable sideshow.
This is witnesses only. The media is not allowed in the room.
Still more would risk public ridicule.
This is an amazing sighting. This is unheard of.
To tell remarkably consistent stories. A month after MUFON began its investigation, the reports are still coming in.
I've taken some of the sightings, some of the reports, and I've plotted them on the map.
More than 30 eyewitness reports from a 50-mile radius of just the January 8th event.
So whatever they saw was right in this area here, moving south.
Steve Hudgens heads up a team of 9 MUFON investigators. They're still compiling reports that include sketches.
Most of these drawings are showing, again, this light sequence. The drawings look a little different, but...
And this one was lights again, but different colors.
Most tell of a huge aircraft.
The people were saying, that they described it this way. They said that the lights would just come on in sequence of 5 or 6.
And dancing lights. Now a videotape and photographs have surfaced from later in the month that seem to match eyewitness accounts, including a 12-minute tape made on January 19th. That Hudgens and others find intriguing. Still frames and a 3-second clip are now posted on the internet.
There's something been going on across Texas and in central Texas, and just people haven't been saying much about it. We get this, what we call the giggle factor, and puts a lot of ridicule in everything, but this case, for some reason, there's a little different twist to it.
Let's go back to that timeline that Hudgens has begun to plot. The sightings on January 8th point to an area west of Dublin, Texas, very near what's called the Brownwood MOA, Military Operating Area, where aircraft from bases all over the Southwest routinely conduct tests. Early on, an Air Force spokesman at the Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth speculated the January 8th event was the result of illusions, denying reports of F-16s in the area. A couple of weeks later, that story changed, and Major Carl Lewis reported there were 10 F-16s flying training operations that night.
That just adds credibility to the people with their sightings, because they said, yeah, we saw jets in the area. They were chasing this object.
The changing story from the Air Force has fueled speculation of a military cover-up. Speculation, at least, that what could be going on here is some sort of an experimental, top-secret government aircraft.
That's what people are seeing. That's what I believe. I believe they're seeing our military projects that we don't know about. In the deepest of my heart, I would like to think that it's our projects and not someone from another country or maybe from another planet. I would hope it's ours. It better be our stuff anyway.
We've proven that UFOs exist. Now what we're trying to prove is who they belong to. And we believe that the military knows a great deal more than they have told the American public about whether they're ours or extraterrestrial, or perhaps a combination of the two.
MUFON investigators will be back in nearby Dublin on February 23rd, but they are asking this time that photographers and reporters stay away. They're hoping to encourage more witnesses to feel safe in coming forward. They've already talked to almost 200 people, and their stories really date back several years and go forward to after the January 8th. Apparently something's been happening out here, according to people who live in this area, and continues to happen. Steve and Heather?
Well, Rich, what about then talking to the Air Force and getting their take?
Well, the Air Force has been happy enough to talk to us on the phone. They won't make any official statements beyond the written ones they've released, and they're really not going to talk about too much. But keep in mind, again, that military operating area, there are jets and Air Force craft from all over. Holloman's Air Force Base, for example, in New Mexico, has a whole wing of stealth fighters.
All right, and then how long before MUFON wraps up their investigation?
MUFON says it'll be at least another month. I'm guessing that it'll be longer than that. Coincidentally, the History Channel, I've been on the phone with them this week. They're coming out here at the end of the month. They've got a show, a UFO Hunters show. There's also a Japanese crew that's apparently coming out here. The story's not going away. It's really got legs.
All right, worldwide attention. Thanks very much.